My relationship to electronic music was rooted in this early electronic music era where there was aggressive experimentation, where every sound was made specifically by the person who was presenting the music and no one else could do it. And by default, every song, every sound, every moment was unique. And as that filtered through these stages of sort of codifying, first the hip-hop record productions and then the adaptations of sequencers and samplers and drum machines to a harder music in the industrial music era, and then as like different kinds of club music derived from those two lineages, and then that eventually evolved into making music on a computer using samples and synthetic instruments as a kind of a production piece rather than as a hands-on performance. I lost interest in it somewhere along that way. What made it real and stimulating to me dissolved, and it became, to my ear anyway, it became more about signifying idiomatic elements. In a parallel development, you had the sort of guitar-based drums punk bands in the earliest iterations of punk music. Like, that music was also wildly distinctive music. Like, each band was completely disparate and sounded nothing like the others. And that also sort of codified and solidified into a style of music that could be played with those instruments. And that style was further like simplified and dumbed down and became the sort of descendants of that were initially hardcore punk, and then the sort of pop punk that came after hardcore. And similarly, as that music got simpler and dumber and more idiomatically hidebound, more stylistically hidebound, I lost interest in that music as well. Like, I guess what I'm saying is that it's not a unique thing. It's not a unique feature of electronic music that it got simpler and dumber and more formal, because that exact same thing happened in the punk scene, where the punk bands got simpler and dumber and more formal and more conformist, and it got to the point where you could walk into a show and a band would be playing and you'd have no idea which of the 5 bands on the bill was playing, because they were essentially interchangeable. And the same is true with a lot of electronic music. Like, you can listen to a few minutes or a few hours of electronic music and have no idea whose music you're listening to, because so much of it shares features or stylistic elements that are meant to signify and meant to identify that music with its audience and with the peer group of its creators,
Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe for more. All the videos on this channel are original. I'm the one conducting all the interviews and editing all the videos together. So if you guys like what you see and you want to support, the best way to do so is honestly just to subscribe. Lots more to come.